Hey folks, what is going on, Rusher, and welcome back to another King of the Hill installment. We have got an incredible show for you lined up this evening, but of course, before we jump in there, I just want to address, of course, what's going on. In case you are new to the King of the Hill format, and for maybe this video specifically, because there are some things that need to be quickly sort of taken care of. So, with that being said, obviously, we're going to go ahead and get right into it. So, obviously, for those of you who are new to the King of the Hill format, this is a little event where, of course, we get into a 3v3 scenario. 3 players on one team, 3 players on the other. And, of course, the first team to knock out all of the other ones through 1v1 competition is the winner. But for that to take place, obviously 1v1 matches need to happen, and with it comes stipulations. And of course for this one, which we might explain maybe in more detail going forward, it's going to be a draft format. So that means, of course, obviously a couple of cards have been forcibly given to a couple of these players here. They each picked out from a large list, which you'll see that list momentarily, as we'll jump right into that next. And of course, yeah, they ended up taking 3 copies of each draft card in their various decks. So you might see a couple of those draft cards pop up. I can't guarantee it, but you might see some, of course, here and there. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump into the picks so you guys can see what was given to each of the players through the teams. And obviously, I do want to kind of throw out a quick little mention that some teams may be different in terms of composition. There were some late additions, some dropouts to the original roster. So some things may be different across each of the teams that you'll see initially. But the majority of the composition is still there. So with that being said here, we'll go ahead and take you guys right over to the picks here that were determined. Well, first draft was given to the team that won an initial matchup. I lost the match footage, unfortunately, so I can't really show that to you guys. However, we do have the winner kind of in the video of the picks itself, so we're going to go ahead and take you right to that. So enough of me talking. Let's go ahead and jump into the picks. Alright, and we are back. A little bit of a small confusion after the end of that matchup, but I think we mentioned in the match itself that was to determine who is picking first in a draft, and that's sort of what this whole mode we've developed, or at least for this King of the Hill, that's what our format is based on. Asher, you want to give a little insight as to how the draft really works out for the players here?
Yeah, so there's 15 sets of cards or 30 cards.
I think 30 total, and they picked
Yeah.
15.
So each team picked 15 cards, all of which are forced 3 times inclusion, and
Yes.
each team is 3 players. So each player will use 5 of the cards from the draft in their deck at 3 times inclusion.
Right. And they also double as bans not only for the opposite team, but for their teammates as well, which will probably encourage them to take more of a Highlander approach when it comes to picking the factions, since I think really from each of the factions, there were 4 draft picks, and then 6 from the neutrals. Or do we double that to 8?
Yep,
Let me just check your shields.
I think it's
Okay,
6.
no, yeah, it is 6. So, with that being said, you can probably read off some of the cards already here. But, I mean, Ashley, what are you thinking that was what was going to be the biggest pick coming out of this draft?
I thought that Blacksmith was going to be huge, and I thought that Blacksmith maybe in tandem with the Rally the Town Reanimate was going to be pretty big. That got cut up. A lot of the interesting combos that were inside the draft pick got cut up a bit. A little bit of like cutthroat plays by the teams.
Right, sort of a grab and go. Just when one was picked up, I think the other was soon taken by the opposite team afterwards. First pick was Dragon's Fire, which didn't really surprise me, to be honest. That was, I think, going to be a big grab for people, especially knowing how big Dragon's Fire is in general. And then followed up, we saw the second draft being Blacksmith. So yeah, definitely some cards people are going to go after. But, I mean, looking at this and looking at who's got what do you think are going to be some decks that are going to stem off of this?
We're definitely going to see Reanimate because Team A got Rally the Town, Reanimate, and a lot of Viking cards.
Right, that's true. Lightning Blade, Reanimate, Rune Warrior, all going to Team A, which is Alan, Beastly, and Vasaven. Only one they didn't pick up was War Elephant, but I think that's not going to be too much of an issue for them. Just looking along here. I'm trying to think of like what did Team B grab as like the big. Oh, Darkness. A lot of Warlocks did Team B grabbed up.
Yeah,
Headwood, Darkbender. So yeah, I think Warlocks might be Team B's strongest point. Meanwhile, everything
they
else
also
gets a little choppy.
Team B's got hooks, but they don't have much Vikings, so windy hooks might not be as effective, especially without Rune Warrior or Lightning Blade. So it'll
Right.
be really interesting to see what deck they run Rusty Hooks in.
Curious too. And I mean, I'm personally hoping we see a bit of Santa going around. Team A, which is Allen, Beast, Besa. Again, they picked that up fairly early, I thought, in the draft. Earlier than I expected. I thought it was going to be like one of the lesser of the picks, but I guess when you have things like Shield Runner, Perseverance, Cannonball, so on and so forth, I think, you may want to pick up that 3-5 body.
Right.
But I mean, I'm honestly certainly curious to see what directions the teams take things in. We just want to give you guys this bit as sort of a just overall general look at who's got what. We're gonna jump into the first matchup here shortly, which at the time of recording we actually don't know. Currently, the teams have about a week to prep their decks, in which case I believe they'll send over the team order as well. So we're gonna jump to that right now. But yeah, certainly excited. Astro, how you feeling? Any last word before we jump into the first game?
I want to see whether Perseverance or Replacement Tech makes the bigger play.
The last two, one of them pulls off a big impact you're looking for.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and take you to match number 1 of King of the Hill 3 right now. All right, folks, and welcome to match number 1, of course, of King of the Hill 3. It's been a minute for us, so we had to get back into it, obviously. There was some time between the first picks and the actual gameplay, which we're seeing here, but of course we are seeing it happen nonetheless. In our first match, Tab taking on Beastly. A little bit of a mirror matchup in Crusader Vikings. Astor, how you feeling about that?
I think this is going to be awesome. That's really cool.
Well, of
Also,
course,
Tab's deck is called Not War Party.
well,
So,
considering it's blue, yellow, and all he runs is War Party, if it's anything but War Party, he's got, some mental struggle. But anyway, we're seeing Questing Knight, 2 Frog Princes, kind of alerting me Tabs chose a Knight direction for this draft. And meanwhile, BC, we haven't seen much. Obviously, the Lumberjack doesn't tell us too much, but I don't know. I don't know what he's got. I don't remember all of their draft picks either. I remember a couple of them, so we'll see if any of those decide to pop in. And
yeah,
also,
I believe
yep, go ahead.
Beastly's team got Perseverance.
Oh,
So,
that's right. That's right. I think that was like one of the last picks that they did. So yeah, that was definitely in there for now. But Tab taking the pressure or bringing the pressure to Beastly. That's good English. Pushing his Question Knight up, doing a bit of damage here. We'll see how Beastly responds. Going to bring out. Oh, we're going to see a reanimate. We might see
Reanimate was
reanimate.
in the draft.
It was in the draft, and they did get it, and there it is. So there's the one reanimate, and the
Oh!
double wraith pull. Turn 4. This can't be good
Oh
for
no.
Tab. If I'm Tab, I'm not liking this. He did pull a bit of a savior in battle ready. He could theoretically push the wraith away, killing it and keeping that priest alive, but that does put him out of vulnerable position. Looks like he retreats us, so obviously going to tell me maybe Nunchuck Nun. Yeah, Nunchuck Nun's going to come
Yes.
out, and that just seems like the smart play. I don't like the way that he chained them, though.
Yeah.
We know Beastly, I think, has Lightning Blade as well. Ooh, doesn't have it, though. Going to be Fat Bard.
Nunchuck Nun is also from the.
Yes, that is also from the draft. That is correct. I might see. Well, if I'm Tab, I might have to go Armory just to clear off this one Wraith, right? I don't
Yeah,
see a
for
whole lot
sure.
that he can do. He can keep the Nunchuck Nun, which is great, but ultimately it's going to die, and he's not going to have that buff going anywhere. And I don't really
Yeah,
like
he's one
this.
turn short.
Basically, can set him up for some Lightning Blade action right here if he wants to. If he's got it, that is. Nope, going to be the books. So yeah, if you are tab here, Asteroid, what do you think? Oh,
Oh,
alright, second nunchuck nun.
there you go.
Yeah, that's gonna be useful. You can pop the weaker nun into the Wraith, get that second one boosted up, and I believe with Battle Ready, it should be able to kind of take it out. If I'm doing the
Yeah,
math
it'll be
correctly.
enough.
Yeah. Yep, there it is. It's not gonna
And then you
block the
can get Frog
flying.
Prince out next turn.
Yes, yes, you can. It's not gonna be able to really block for the books here, but that does still survive any sort of chain shenanigans that Beastly might have. But speaking of Beastly, we've been ignoring his hand size. That hand is getting pretty big,
Yeah, that's really scary.
especially when you're looking at Crusader Vikings. Obviously, they're late game, packed with things like Yenneroth, Yarm, Ragnar. Any thoughts on what he might be carrying in there?
Oh, I really don't know. It could be really anything. We're seeing a lot of like global buff spam stuff for the reanimate, but we really don't know what he could be packing for late game.
Yeah, we're also just seeing a lot of genetic. Like the only big impactful play from Beastly was that reanimate. There is nothing really going on, elsewhere in the deck that we really can pinpoint what his strategy is. Gonna see the nunchuck connect with the books there, take it out. Does leave Frog Prince room to get summoned here. The question is, does he defend armory or does he block his castle? His castle is getting a bit low for his liking, and looks like he's gonna opt to sacrifice the armory, if that may be. It does take out the nuns, so it does give it a little buff to Frog Prince. But yeah, I'm getting nervous for Tab here. He's getting dangerously low.
Yeah, Beasley's just so far ahead on cards and on face damage.
Right, and when you compare 9 to 17, it's just overwhelming. Oh, and there's Rune Warrior. We talked about him being in the draft as well. Good to make his appearance. Little 5/5
Actually,
boy.
a pretty solid appearance as well. It's going to put down a lot of pressure.
Right, and that chain will actually help deal with Resolve. Actually, no, because we can always stack the Nunchuck Nun into the Rune Warrior, protect our Frog Prince.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
we
was
just
an
drew a second
interesting
one. We
play.
just drew a second one, so that's going to heal up the first Frog Prince as well. I think Tab might be making a bit of a comeback here.
So many frog princes.
And they all heal each other. That initiative heal 3 gonna completely sort of nullify that
if
damage.
he if he heals and then sacks the nunchuck nun, it won't even resolve.
Right. We can stack the nun into, yep, Rune Warrior, there we go. So Frog Princes are getting beefy now. Question is, does he push the Frog Prince into that Rider? Or does he let it live? We know Beastly's got Reanimate in his deck, so letting the Salahar Rider live and connect might be a little dangerous for him to do, and Tab's going to take that risk, it seems like. I don't know how I'm feeling about the Reanimate. Would you think Reanimate's worth it here, though, for Beastly to do?
I mean, if he has Hassan City guards, he can sack a guard. The bottom frog, he doesn't have that. It looks like
Nope, going to see the
another
Rune
rune
Warrior
warrior.
again. Chunky boy. Are we going to see the Salahar, though, go into Frog Prince? I mean, we have a chance of getting rid of the Armory, doing even more face damage as well.
Yeah, hitting the armory would be really big, and also softening both targets.
Oh. Mystic Journey on the guard, so there goes Armory no matter what. Alright, didn't have to rely on the Salahar RNG, and that's kind of scary. Mystic Journey's in the deck, and that leaves room for Rat King Mystic Journey if Beastly's packing it.
Yeah,
Rat King was not a card in the draft, so it's sort of viable to all players.
and the fact that he used a Mystic Journey on a guard means that may very well have another one, you know?
Right,
It's pretty low value to do that, so you usually wouldn't do something like that. Think it's necessary, or you have the secondary.
right. Well, if you're tap here, I think with the best course of action potentially might be getting that question night out and following up with Church. You want to maybe start healing some of this face damage, and two more
Well, we
lands.
know Beastly doesn't have Arbiter,
That's true. We know he doesn't have Arbiter. I think that was a
so
draft
he's just
card.
gonna make trades. Yeah, it was.
So
He's just gonna
Arbiter.
make trades, and
Ooh, yep, there's the Frog Prince heal. Don't like how he chained it, but that's not neither here or there. And yeah, if he can pop that Arbiter down, I think he's gonna be in a pretty even position. Cractus comes out, has to trade with the bottom one because that one's the one's gonna die and give him the cards.
the
He's
Kraxus
allowing.
goes down to 1 health. Arbiter's gonna knock out the Bard and kill Kraxus, and
That's
then the rest of
true.
this is gonna sit on base. Wait, no. Oh
No,
no.
it looks like
Oh
Tab's
no.
invading church.
Tab, no.
And there he goes. I mean, to be fair, the Frog Prince on the
Still Tab.
top can easily trade in, yeah, and that's what's going to happen here. Craxus is going to die, not give BC any more value here, and of course we can set up the Might of the Minotaur play, so that's going to
Right.
trigger on either Frog Princes, both of which still have Resolve, mind you. So I think Tab just
Okay.
really wants to get these Frog Princes on face and sort of nullify any sort of card advantage that Beastly might have.
Yeah, that wasn't terrible.
No, certainly not. There is the Might of the Minotaur activating on the weaker of the two Frog Princes. Smart by BC to kind of negate that. Landing on the Questioning Knight, not the best for him. I don't really see Questioning Knight posing much of a threat here to Beastly, so that was probably the one worst hit for him. He needs to find a way to get rid of these Resolve units, though. Any thoughts? I mean, he could also freeze stall. I think both players have access to some kind of freeze, right?
Yeah.
I don't think
No.
Pillar's in the draft. So we could certainly see that. And with the cards he's got in hand, that's not... Oh, no. Yep, there goes the...
It's game.
Yep, that's game. So Frog Prince connects. Battle Ray doesn't even throw the Arbiters out, and that's going to be game number 1 for Tab's team. Very nicely done by Tab. I think that was a little bit of a underdog story there, if I had to say so myself.
Yeah.
I mean,
Frog Prince after Frog Prince. Do the trick.
they put in work, honestly. They really do. I mean, not just in Night decks either. They've also been making splashes in no interaction decks, so they just continue to prove their power here. And obviously, really enjoyable match to watch here. But with that being said, we are moving into our second matchup here. Normally, I would tell you guys what that second matchup here, but we honestly don't know ourselves because they were a little bit lazy on the team orders. But hey, that's okay. So instead, we'll go ahead and jump into match number 2 right now. Alright folks, and welcome back to game number 2. We've got Banana taking on Tweakin here, and it looks like to be a bit of Pirate Ninja taking on Ninja Druid. Now, Asteroid, for this one, you're over on Tweakin's perspective, correct? So we've got 2 screen shares here, so it'll be interesting to see what happens here. Banana obviously not starting off too strong, but hey, looks like Wolf gonna make an appearance for Tweakin. Actually, no, he's oh no. Oh god. Astro, how's it look over there for Tweakin? Because I've got 2 replacement techniques in hand over here.
We have a solid curve with decent range.
Yeah, we're seeing that. A little bit of Bear Hog after sacking the Wolf to make Bear Hog a bit stronger here. So, of course, Banana going to have a little bit of a difficult time dealing with that. He's got Kunoichi in hand that he could throw out, which might be what happens here. Yep, looks like Kunoichi in the center to block. Obviously,
it's gonna hurt.
Yeah, this is gonna hurt bad. Bearhawk can run up, find the Kunoichi, and do some shenanigans here. If he's got first strike, then... Oh, no. He's got the armory. Well, I mean, he's gonna have to do Rat King, looks like.
I think Rat King's solid here.
Yeah.
We don't have a clear man. No.
Oop, and there is the Wizard Were-Rat combo. Uh-oh. A little stinky there. Now, I see a play that Banana could potentially make, but he really can't do it all too well. Oh, alright. So Tweakin's holding back a bit. Oh, Jesus Christ. Asteroid, we've drawn our 3rd replacement technique.
No! No!
I hope the draws are looking good over there, because we might have to swiftness our Rat King into this Bear Hog. Now, granted, I see a way for Banana to actually out this Were-Rat. Granted, doesn't get any stronger in terms of health. Does he have any ways of doing that, though?
I mean, he doesn't have any health buffs right now. but he's just drawing more and more pretty solid body, especially
Right.
with that armor.
And he's getting aggressive now, knowing that Banana doesn't exactly have the strongest of hands here. Banana might have to take the risk here and go for the play that I see. As much as it probably is going to kill him to do it, that being an Elvish Thief Dwarven Scope to potentially knock out this Were-Rat.
And then lose it to the wizard.
Yeah. But then again, like, he's got 3 replacement techniques, a Rusty Hooks, and Rat King, which he's going to throw out now. If he can, I think, safely play a replacement technique in Rats, he can stall this out. The problem is, it's going to be very difficult for him to do that. Especially if Tweegan just throws more beasts at his face.
I mean, definitely 2 more bear hog, so...
Alright. Well, that's not entertaining. Alright, well, I mean, Rat King going up the block here, so Were-Rat might make the connection. He might not, just generally because Were-Rat's costing Banana some extra gold and upkeep.
Yeah, which might be beneficial to Banana here, being able to put down a replacement tech. Maybe.
Chooses not to, though. Goes for the Shaman draw. He picks up a Cannoneer off that, which could be useful in sort of holding off these wizards in a bit of a stalemate. But yeah, I thought he was gonna... well, I guess it's not really beneficial for him to play the Rat King replacement because he's got no global buffs to make these Rats more impactful. Because if he had that global buff, you would immediately see him go for it, considering that he could probably trade with these wizards. But I think his biggest issues right now are these 2 range units, which he's got a kind of clear way of getting rid of. It's just going to take him a while to get there, but the Were-Rat he's got no options for, other than maybe Dwarven Scope on this Shaman and drag it with the Rusty Hooks if he doesn't get a health buff.
Yeah, if Banana starts hitting some late game, Tweakin could be in trouble. He just has a lot of lower curve unit. So Banana can get rid of 1 or 2 of these.
Ooh, and there's a global buff. There is Armory being thrown down on the field, potentially. He's debating it. Because these Bear Hogs could also just come in and wreck phase. Like, once Armory goes down, Bear Hog has a clear shot at coming in and hitting that Armory.
We also have a Centaur.
You will have... oh, no. Yeah, so that might be actually nullified by the Centaur. These global buffs, Banana needs to stay alive at least 1 time so he can pop off a replacement technique. Alright, Rammer's landing on the wrong target. Probably gonna get rid of one of these rats, right, to make way for the Centaur. Yeah. They're clearing the way, and there's Centaur. So there goes Banana's Armory. Not too good there for him.
Tweakin should definitely take the moment to remove this Rat King if he knew that Banana was running replacement tech, knowing that it would be Banana's only way out. But since he doesn't know, it's just like...
It's sort of like that moment where you just want to take control as the player and, you know, do this, knowing the hand knowledge, but obviously they don't. And, I mean... that Rat King is putting a little more harm on Banana than he would like it to. Being left with -2 gold is putting him back, I think, in my opinion, you know, throughout this match. He just doesn't have the gold to commit to the plays that would potentially turn this around.
Even if Tweakin's floating gold every turn.
Oh, we pulled an Armory, a second one off of another Shaman draw, so that could potentially come in handy if we can clear the board a little bit.
Can he clear the board?
I mean, he can coin into the Armory and manipulate the units in such a way that, you know, we can get rid of some of these things. I mean, the Rat can trade with the Bear Hog. Both these Shamans can take down the Centaur, but that would leave the second Bear Hog to come in and kind of clear phase. So, yeah, I mean, maybe not the best.
How's he going to protect the armor?
Yeah, he's got to protect it. While at the same time, he's just letting things come into play here. he pretty much sees that there's going to be no clear block here for it. I mean, that, yeah, Shaman's the closest thing he's got. But even then, Wizard takes it
Oh
out.
no. Oh no.
What we top deck?
I'm so sorry, Banana.
Did we top
This
deck
is so...
Bestial Rage?
Yeah.
Oh
Tweaking
no.
just got Bestial Rage.
And now we're going to do this. So this effectively puts Banana on a clock. I don't think there's any way for him to kind of navigate this. Yep, Wizard gonna take a step back. Obviously, that's going to protect him a bit. He might have to get involved with the bear hog. Oh, we're just gonna be really aggressive here, are we? We can clear both shamans if we wanted to, which might be what Tweakin does. No?
I think he meant to hit the Shaman with his Ramrit.
Oh. I mean, we're going to end up clearing both shamans anyway. And then following up with the Masuda. So, even, yeah, putting more pressure on the board, which is good because, of course... oh. Alright. We top deck the Mordok.
No Mordok.
Yeah, we top deck the Mordok. Oh.
Ooh!
Oh, and we smack
Does
the
that save him?
Let's see.
It's still
2,
lethal.
3.
It's still lethal.
Oh, yeah. So that's Tweakin game 2. And this guarantees us a round 2, obviously, because now we have 2 contenders from that, from round 1 here. So, looking to be an interesting showdown here. We've got a round 2 guaranteed, but who will have the advantage going into round 2? Obviously, we don't exactly know that until game number 3 happens. So, we're going to take that final shot. And, yeah, looks like we are going to move into game number 3. So, with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Alright, folks, and jumping in, of course, the last matchup of round 1. Jump takes on Vaseven. Jump with the Warlock Druid up against Vase's Pirate Warlock. Astra, how are you feeling about this? Both the first time we've seen Warlock at this event, and both from the last round 1 players.
It looks really interesting already. Jump has Awaken in Warlock Druid.
Do you think so?
Does that
just
mean
by the
Inner
headwood?
Life? I mean, I don't know.
That's true. I mean, we also see Call, Spiny, Fat Bard. There's a lot of different things that could happen in this matchup here, and we'll see how Vesa responds to the Flame Prince summon. You don't really see a lot of Flame Prince, honestly. Oh, and there he go. As quick as he came, he disappears, thanks to a Witch Bolt.
That's where Flame Prince really shines, though.
When he just gets big,
You
or
take the
using him
hit.
for burn fodder.
The burn fodder.
Oh, right. We're going to see a turn 3 pass from Jump here, which is interesting because he has the options to play Spiny or Bard, so he opts to really keep his hand. I mean, we can see a turn 4. There are some big possibilities for him. He can coin to Golem, Headwood. There's a couple things you could do here, and I'm kind of curious. Or just Fat Bard Lumberjack, because that's a play too.
There's really so much to choose from.
Right, and we'll see really which direction he goes in. I don't want to see a call for aid yet, because I just don't feel like that's going to be the correct play, especially since Vesa, we know, a very aggro-ish player. Okay, we're going to see the Golem, and an aggressive one at that. Ooh.
That's really interesting.
So we're risking the... I mean, granted, he's got Deflect, so obviously burns and direct spells aren't going to affect him, but if that... Drain life, that's not going to be enough to get rid of the Golem. He's just 1 short.
And now Fat Bard or Armory.
I think he goes Armory Lumberjack. It's just so that way he can maintain the 6 gold, because he doesn't really want to be behind gold, especially since he's got things like Headwood that he could do in his other turns, or Spiny for that matter. And he gets the Lumberjack out as well. So yeah, we're gonna see Golem move in here, Lumberjack. I mean, Astray, what do you think? Okay, Minotaur. Never mind, he answered my question for me. But that's going to immediately go into the Lumberjack, I assume, right? And that gives us a lot of room to do pretty much anything for this next turn.
Whatever. Open
Oh,
board, you can call for aid lumber if you wanted.
looks like Darkbender Lumber is going to be the play here. I think we want to save call for when it's like turn 10. I assume maybe Jump has an
Right.
idea for that, so that way you just go right into the Ranger. You kind of want to keep that surprise element. Then, I mean, execution on Darkbender, we'll take that, considering we've still got two Rangers in call. And now a Darkness in hand as well for turn 10. What is this deck?
It's awesome.
I'm kind of
It's a
curious to
little
just
bit of everything.
I'm kind of curious to grab this list myself, just because it seems so interesting. I know this is supposed to be like a draft deck, but like Awaken, Zombie, Druid, good stuff. There's just a lot that I'm liking in this deck here, and we're gonna pop the call for aid. So now Vesa knows two Rangers are sitting in hand here, and yeah, ball's back in Vesa's court. What does he got for jump here?
Ooh,
All right, Mordok gonna be the
that was.
play here. Ooh,
Oh,
then we pick off the armory. Nearly the exact same as game number 2. Ooh, I like that arc fire though. Because Headwood counts as a mage. We can arc fire away this Mordok if we wanted to.
oh, wait, that's big.
Yeah, we can Headwood. We could take out the
Does he see
Horseman.
this? Does he see this? Professor hits the horse, and Arcfire hits the Mordock, right?
Yeah, and then we set up Professor's Burn for the next turn.
That's a big play if he sees it.
Looks like he's debating Ranger though, just to get the bodies out here. I don't know how good that is because we have pirates in this deck. Might see a scope. Unless, I don't think scope is his draft card, right?
Um,
Oh, nope, we're going to go
I
for
don't
the
think so
Ranger.
either. Is he gonna
Ranger,
rampage?
I assume Fat Bard then as well. Yep. Yep. I'm going to have to ask him about this because I thought Headwood Arcfire was going to be the play to make.
That that looked like a really good play.
Yeah. So now Mordok's had this extra turn to roam around here. Looks like we don't have the scope, so we're not going to go right into the Ranger. We're going to generate a second Horseman. I think maybe Jump sees that now. Maybe the Arcfire head would.
There
Maybe
was,
noticing his mistake.
yeah, because there was nowhere to put the Fat Bard where it wouldn't.
Yeah. And we're going to summon out a bunch of creatures here. Lumberjack, Elvish Thief, and Minotaur. We could Fat Bard potentially to survive this Ranger trade. Unless we're going to go Spiny into Lumber, Elvish into Ranger for whatever reason.
Is he thinking Spiny Rampage so he can kill the Minotaur?
Maybe that's a good point. But then we
Oh,
wouldn't.
he's gonna get the damage.
Oh no, he wants face. Okay. Oh no, he wants Rampage to take
And
out.
then remove.
Okay. All right. I see. I'm on the same page now. He could go for
Bard
more with.
first, Bard first.
No, I don't think he wants Bard
Oh,
because he
no,
sets.
Darkness. Darkness next turn.
Yeah. He wants to. He wants
Oh,
to.
wait.
It's like he heard us. I don't. I'm pretty sure I muted him.
Yeah, he's deafened. He's deafened.
All right. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead. Looks like connect for 8, and we're debating here whether to take a trade or not. Time is running out.
His opponent has Warlock. It's probably better to.
Yep. So it looks like we're gonna go ahead and make that trade here. And Bard. Oh no, Bard comes out. Oh, not
That,
the. I didn't want to
mm.
see Fat Bard because now we've taken the one less damage and we're putting us on the upkeep.
Oh, he,
There,
he got the burn now. Maybe he
there
was
you go.
hoping to bait out Dragon's Fire?
Maybe, potentially. I mean,
Maybe.
there are still some plays here that we can make other than the darkness.
I think he wants to save the Darkness, do it 2 turns in a row.
Oh, that's gonna be brutal if he does that. But I mean, how else do you bait out a Dragon's Fire at this stage? There's nothing really in your hand that really prompts good Dragon's Fire value, or at least that doesn't click for
Other
your
than,
opponent. Yeah,
yeah, other than Darkness. Darkness.
right. So it looks like we're gonna go into Ranger here, possibly following up with the Wizard. That's gonna make an appearance. I mean, we could do that or Headwood. Not sure if that's going to be the case.
Asa still has execution in death.
Right, he does still have that. He is down on life though, so we are approaching sudden death soon. I think his mindset is he wants a little more damage on Castle. I'm not
And this
sure.
ranger is really.
Oh.
There's Santa.
Oh.
That hurts. That hurts.
So Vesa pulls the lava font, gives Jump wins of the icy. Definitely think Jump came out a little bit better in that exchange. I mean, lava font can be used as a bit of a
A little bit.
distraction, but not when you have Ranger out on the board, and that can really just delete the lava
Tear
font in
through
the
it.
instant. Yeah. I think if we want to play lava font, we have to get rid of the Ranger first, and Vasa's got no clear way of doing that whatsoever. We might throw lava font to, yep, body block here against the Ranger.
So, what's the play here?
And drain life into the wizard powers up the white knight. Okay, well, I mean, originally I thought that the winds that Icy was going to connect with the white knight to take it out of play.
Yeah.
It did get the drain life buff though, so even Ranger can't necessarily take it out.
Yeah, he has no way to kill it this turn now. Not without sacrificing Headwood. Which might not be awful.
I mean, we could bring it. I think wins is 3, so that would still technically put Headwood in a solid position.
Well, Headwood would die.
No, not if you try.
Oh
Not if
wait,
you.
no,
Not if
you
you
do
connect.
Headwood second.
Well, no, lifesteal. Lifesteal on the White Knight would mean that
Right.
he's getting
Yeah.
enough life back to. Yeah, so you really can't take out White Knight. Uh, Jump might have to just set up a couple of things here. Obviously, we still don't want to show darkness yet because we're going to try and bait out some AoE burn. And then maybe just looks like, yeah, set up Headwood, set up Darkbender, and just sort of sit back and watch Vesa, see what he can do. He's only on 2 cards, and he's in the one that's in a more precarious position than Jump. Jump can pretty much sit back for the rest of this game if he wants to,
There's the
and
burn.
yep, there's the AoE. There's the Dragon's Fire. So it is out of Vasa's hand now. That's going to give Jump some good clearance here to take out. Um,
Oh.
oh, okay, maybe not.
Now Jump can't get rid of the lava font, which is a huge obstruction to the Eternal Dark.
Oh, you're right, you're right. He's got to take that out first before even throwing out the
Oh, we have
darkness.
Headwood burn.
And it doesn't connect to the lava font. Oh, no. And Call for Aid isn't really useful either right now, is it?
I mean, I think Call for Aid, play a Ranger is the right play.
It's really the only play that you can afford to make here. Just give Vesa the other turn. He's only sitting on 1 card. 2 in his next... Well, 3 actually, because we're now going to hit sudden death. Oh, we're debating darkness. We are debating...
It puts a lot of bodies out.
It does. It does. I'm just thinking... Yeah. A little obstructed thanks to the Lava Font and White Knight. But, I mean, hey, it's still a lot of bodies, and this definitely puts a timer on Vesa. Not only does he have to deal with sudden death, but now these 2 chippers, which are just going to delete his castle health faster than the sudden death will.
Jump's gotta move. Move.
I think he really just has to position everything out of the lava font territory, and he's good. Yep, just like that. It does give Vesa some room to work with. He only has to worry about the 3 zombies in the back. Granted, Ranger could also go ahead and clear away. Well, I think. No, the zombies can't clear away the lava font. He needs 1 more to really make it worthwhile. So Vesa needs to get rid of the 3 zombies in the back. I think that's the big priority as of now. He's got 3 cards to do it.
And how's Vesa gonna push past this second Call for Aid?
To be honest, I don't think Vase is winning this regardless. I mean, we know it's in Jump's hand. A second call, a second darkness. He can,
There's just no way you outvalue that.
and there's no healing in this either. There's no way for Vesa to gain more turns through healing because obviously we're in Pirate Warlock. There's just nothing we can do. As opposed to Jump, who's sitting on a healthy 14, as opposed to Vase's single digit 9. And sudden death ticks away here, and oh, I think that's game. Yeah, that's game.
That's game. He can remove pillar.
Yep, removing pillar, clearing the way for Ranger to take away the remaining 8. Yep, we're going to throw it down. Zombies go ahead, removing the pillars. 1, 2, 3, and Ranger going to go ahead and take 8 for the game.
Wow.
So Jump's
What
team
a
takes
game.
the advantage moving into round 2 here. That does give Tweakin a 2v1 situation. Has to go through Tab and Jump here if he wants to win it for his team. So, I mean, Asteroid, who do you think you favor here? The team of Tweakin or the team of Tab and Jump?
I mean, what's Tweakin playing again?
He's playing Ninja Druid. Beasts.
Uh, I don't know. It's gonna be tough.
Right, and there's only one way to find out, of course. So we'll take you guys to round number 2 right now. All right, folks, and welcome
Ooh.
back to match number 4, technically. Of course, first one of round 2 underway here. And Tab, the winner of round 1, takes on Tweakin, obviously the winner of match number 2 here. Now, Tweakin is in a must-win situation going forward. If he loses, his team just loses in general. If Tab loses, that's fine. Jump is sitting in the wings. But, I mean, Asher, how you feeling? We've got, I mean, Tab's Knights, the blue-yellow Knights, going up against what we assume is the purple-white Beasts. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah. Tweakin's deck is fast-ish, and Tab's hand is a little slow, but Tab just got Shield Runner Might of the Minotaur.
That's going to be big.
It's probably going to be massive.
Right. I would say go Might, Tab. There's no reason not to. And then you could even turn 4 Armory to be really aggressive with the Shield Knight.
I mean, it's just so much.
Okay, he's instead going up and going for a Cleric, which is interesting. I mean, it's away from the Wizard.
Abusing the Wizard's location.
I guess so. Punishing the play there and kind of pushing a Cleric of his own. We could potentially see a Armory turn 4 still. I don't see why not. We're going to get Rat King, though, from Tweakin. Not going to be able to remove the Shield Runner, just based on the positioning of these units here. I think what we're trying to do here is maybe get Cleric's heal a bit off-centered.
Right.
That's just my opinion. I'm not sure if that's going to be the plan here. It just seems like Tweakin is stalling a little bit, which is already not a good sign for him. If he gives Tab more time to operate here, we know that his deck could bring some big power. Obviously, the Frog Prince has put in a lot of work in the first game. And, I mean, I'm not going to be surprised if we see that happen again for a second time here.
Yeah, I think Frog Prince wins this match.
Yeah. But, I mean, we haven't seen Tab play a card yet. He can't really remove the Shield Runner to make room for proper Might. I would say
I think
go
the
Armory.
play... Yeah, the play is Armory. Kill the bottom rat with Shield Run. Kill the top rat, Cleric. And then when Wizard goes to Cleric, or the Shield Run, hit it with...
Right. Well, looks like that's not going to be the case here. We could connect a castle with the Cleric, it looks like, to just generate healing on the Shield Runner, right?
Interesting.
Yeah, we're going to do
That
that.
might... The Might of the Minotaur is looking...
It is. It's looking pretty thick. It's looking pretty thick indeed. I think Tab is regretting his move, though. Popping the didn't mean to do that.
I think Tab was thinking the Shield Runner would get full health.
You think he miscalculated the heal on Cleric?
Mm-hmm.
That could certainly be the case here. I mean, Tweakin now has a response, but neither of these two units can actually kill off any one of Tab's alone. Okay, Shaman. So there goes Cleric, I assume, right? That does give Shield Runner 1 more health?
Yeah.
1 more, which we are not going to negate with the Rat just yet. Instead, we'll throw it back to Tab, see what he's got here. Now, here's where we could potentially see Might go down, although that would kind of proc and negate itself on the Wizard.
Yeah. You'd get the 3 damage, but the health would just get...
Yeah, exactly. kind of curious here. Where does he go? Does he Questing Knight Church connect with the rat, heal up the
So
shield
this could
runner?
be... Tab doesn't hit front prints. This could be the swinging point.
Potentially. Yep. Okay. So I make the prediction there. Church Question Knight gonna go down. Shield runner gonna get the 1 health. It did trade with the shaman, which I thought wasn't gonna happen. I thought he'd trade with the rat to kind of negate that damage. But hey, I'm fine with that. Damage is still damage. A unit killed is still a unit killed here. We'll see just what he can do. And we're getting closer to Luminaris. We kind of forgot about that. But, I mean, looking at the gold, we've got about 2 more turns left for Tab, and then he could pop it potentially.
Yeah, if this questing knight goes down, Lumi's gonna brick pretty hard.
Right. Looks like
So
Quest Knight.
Lumi's probably the play they're looking for.
That's what we're looking for. Very iffy on if we're going to make it, though. Alright, Ramrus connects to... Okay, thankfully not one of these stronger rats here. We could still technically save our combo, our big Lumi play here, which I think we are going to end up needing. The question is, how do we make it seem like we're not desperate for Lumi?
Also, playing Nunchuck and Priest is a really big commitment to the board.
Right. You're basically devoting a lot of the hand at this point to that. And we don't want to push in Questing Knight because that is pretty much our Lumi grace here. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. So Questing Knight looking to retreat. Nunchuck not going to block ahead for the Ramrus. That's fine. We're going to kind of keep our Church. Church could be, I mean, pretty big later on, especially if we can pull things like sudden death heals out of our ass. That's always nice to see. Gonna go ahead and sack the Priest, though. Looks like both the Reds could potentially make a trade with that if we wanted to.
These high health units are really doing the trick.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, we know that Tweakin's deck could get some attack power fast, though. I mean, we had Bestial Rage come out, especially working well with the Beast deck, and obviously put a 1/1 stat in that make a huge difference, especially on that Wizard if we can get it there.
I think what we might see happen is Tweaking goes for his pack of wolves, and that's when we see a...
Do you think we're going to try and bait out the pack through what exactly? Because, I mean, we have to remember the Questing Knight needs to stay alive. And it seems like it's a little bit harder to maintain that ever so slightly, considering we're asking to move in. That could do some damage. We could priest up, obviously we can make a heal. Connect Nunchuck maybe to the rat, kind of put that out there. Maybe priest blocks church. Any other ideas?
It's really hard to say. Nunchuck, the wolf hurt.
Right. Oh, we're gonna commit
Going
to.
for the might of the...
All right, gonna commit to the might. Blech. I'm a little nervous on that Questing Knight placement. I mean, we're getting ready for the Lumi for sure, but if we lose this
But it's a
night,
gamble.
it's a gamble. I don't.
Gamble that's not looking very...
Especially because now Priest is going to take that Might of the Minotaur buff right off of the board here. That could clear the way. We could easily do a Bear Hog. Oh, that scared me for a hot second. Bear Hog into none. Questing Knight. Yep, Question Knight goes down. So there goes the Lumi completely from the hand. And the Shadow Dance on the Beastmaster are going to recycle that. Oh, Tab, I do not like your chances moving into the later stages here. Sure, you might have some big buildings, but Tweakin's got some big units.
He's got 2 more coming.
Yeah, 3 more if you count the
You gotta
Beastmaster
get...
himself.
Yeah. You gotta get the Dragon Knight down and hope to Lumi the...
Right, seems like the best play he can do, really. Just hold for Lumi. While also not making it seem, again, like you are desperate for Lumi.
Well, actually, Tweakin's probably gonna Shadow Dance the Master again.
nope. There's the pack.
Lumi?
I want to
Question
say
mark?
yes, but what are you getting at with the Lumi? The two wolves making the bottom wolf and the bear stronger? Well, actually, I would connect the priest to the bear first. Now that I'm looking at it. Yep. Obviously, that clears a big threat from your board. Lumi can clear all three. Yep, all three wolves. Okay, so guess that
But
geometry
how do
right.
you deal with the second Beastmaster Shadow Dance?
That's a tough question. Oh no, and that's not even the
But there's
rebounded
a
one.
oh no.
That's not the rebounded one. He's got two more Beastmasters.
Next turn, 10 gold, he can put out 4 beasts and still have Beastmaster in hand.
Oh god, that's gonna be brutal. Okay, on a happier note though, we can get rid of the wizard if we want to.
Yeah. Priest remove where we're at. Faithful remove wizard. Then you're facing down 6 speed.
Yep. You're eliminating some of the threats here. Tab, please play the battle ready on the. Thank you. I got nervous there. I got nervous. Granted, it looks like some of these beasts are gonna have to maybe forcibly trade into these units here. I mean, both bear hogs as they are can't. Okay, well now they can combine deal with the faithful Drake. Something else into the priest maybe. I don't know why Rammers goes up there. Oh, he wants to get rid of the churches now with that. Yep. Okay, there goes church number 2.
Beastmaster.
Yep, there he is. And then rebound it. Yep. The rebounded Shadow Dance goes back into hand. Wolf makes the connection here, making these beasts a whole lot stronger. I would say Rammers, Bear Hog, and then you're left with a big Northlands Bear.
And the Bear Hawk
And the Bear Hog in the
is
back.
gonna
Right.
decimate these buildings.
Oh, and Bard's not the draw you want to see. Bard can't do anything in this state. It doesn't have enough power to take on the Bear Hog. So that Bear Hog's going to get another free rampage here, and I think that might spell the writing on the wall for Tab.
That's that.
Armory goes, Church goes. We're going to play a second beat, or what is this, fourth Beastmaster of the game. Rebound it into the hand, play it again, right? Yep, there it is. Oh, Lord. So, I mean, game over for Tab, question mark?
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing that you can do. Tab, just don't surrender. We want to try and get. Please pad my runtime. I mean, he can't even take out a single wolf.
I don't think he's running.
Oh, he can take out. Okay, he can take out the bear hog. Never mind. He can take out the bear hog, which is big. I think if he gets some more unit buffs in here. Any global buffs? No. We're gonna chip away at face. 3, 3. Yep. Shaman comes out. Yeah.
Disgust.
This is gross. Beast decks, ladies and gentlemen, they're not dead. Yeah, so this is probably gonna be Tab's last turn. Dead draws armory battle ready, and looks like he's gonna surrender the matchup there. So I mean, hey, we're down to the final wire now. Tweak and jump. Whoever takes this will take it for the team. So,
Yeah.
rough one for Tab, I have to admit. There, I mean, Shadow Dance Beastmaster. Oh, so many beasts, so many big boys. But hey, with that being said, folks, like we said, we do have one more match to go. So let's go ahead, take it to the final match: Jump versus Tweakin', winner take all. And yeah, let's see how that one goes. All right, folks, and here we go. Final matchup, the winner take all scenario here. Jump taking on Tweakin' here, the Warlock Druid up against the Druid Ninja. And yeah, Astra, I didn't think it was gonna come down to the final matchup, but how you feeling?
I'm on the edge of my seat. I have no idea. It's a throw up.
And I mean, we saw from the last match that, Jump's deck is very interesting in terms of the composition. So I'm very excited to see what, comes in for us today. But we also know that it's maybe a little too slow to deal with Tweakin's Beast. So, I mean, this one, oh, no. We're already off to a rough start.
Jump was all confidence coming into the game. There's a little bit of trash talk going on.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So is this the game's way of showing him, no, that's not nice?
I don't know.
Alright, well, I mean, hey, we'll see what Tweakin's able to do with this. Looks like we are going to receive that wizard. If I'm Jump, maybe take the Spiny, get rid of the Lumberjack. Oh, God. This is like nearly everything from Jump's last game, just in the wrong order of appearance.
Yeah.
I mean,
Everything he had past turn 7, but he has it within turn 3.
right.
Oh
Oh,
no.
gross. Well, I mean, okay.
Where's Headwood? Where's
We
Darkbender? Where's Headwood?
There are some outs here. We're looking maybe fear back the wizard. My question is, do you burn Were Rat or do you save both Arc Fires for wizard?
Double burn wizard, hope to draw something big enough.
We can't double burn it because we just used the gold for fear.
Right.
So it would have to go a whole turn without potentially seeing a global buff from Tweakin. Alright, we're going to
Pretty
pass.
scary.
We're not going to burn either. We're going to let everything come in here and see what happens. So Were Rat taking 2 off the face. Tweakin bringing up the wizard. Yep, just like last time. We're going to probably see another beast, right? Maybe Bear Hog.
Uh-oh.
Nope, Centaur chip, and this is getting
Uh-oh.
dangerous. This is getting... Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh my. There's the 3 times inclusion rule.
Yep, this is where the 3x inclusion hurts in draft. Drawing all 3 darkness in turn 5. I mean, if I'm Jump, I think... I don't know. I burn the wizard maybe, but even then, you're still dealing with 5 face damage, and if that can get buffed or anything, it's game over.
And you can't just not remove something this turn. So
Yeah.
Call for Aid is dead.
Call for Aid's a dead card.
You're waiting for the draw. You can't afford to do this.
Unless he really wants to Rambo off a potential bestial rage in the next
Even
turn.
then,
It's bad. And there's the clock.
you have 3 health left. Rampage on a ranger will only kill 2 things. Spiny won't do anything.
Yes, sir. That is
It's over.
correct.
That's game.
Yep. So it looks like in the end, Jump opting to not really play or play Call for Aid really. And that's going to allow the Centaurs to come in here. If you've got a second one, it's game.
This.
Yep, he's got it. Shadow Dance. Actually, no. Does he have the metal? No, he doesn't. He miscalculated the gold. Doesn't matter though. I don't think Jump can remove any of the units here unless we could pull. Oh God, hi swordsman.
Wow.
Yeah, we can ranger. We can't body block though.
What a set.
Ugh, it's unfortunate, but yeah, that's the way it falls here. So it looks like Jump's gonna toss the surrender. He knows it's over. Tweakin gonna go ahead and take it away for his team in a 2v1 underdog situation. Pulls out the win against Tab and Jump. Overall, very nicely done here. But with that being said, we do have a couple of words that we can get from our players here. Unfortunately, not all of them are going to be joining us. Granted, given the time that we are recording this, people have other things to do. But we're going to try and get word from the people that we have here, and hopefully maybe get some insight on some of these matches that went forward. So, Astro, you ready to get back to the players?
Oh, I'm so ready.
All right, let's go ahead and jump on over to them. Alright, folks, and here we are, of course, after the underdog story for Tweakin.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Get this straight. We ain't no underdog. We're
Is
coming
Tweaking
in
ever an
hot
underdog?
hands,
I don't.
man.
I don't think that sounds right.
I would say
Yeah.
Tweaking is more like a Chad or an alpha male.
Listen, again, I don't need his ego boosted because man is still sitting with the 1-7 record in casting conflicts, which he needs to fix.
But what's
Anyway,
that record in the King of the Hill, though?
anyway, uh,
Speaking for the people.
hold on. We'll go in order here. We'll save the main event for last, obviously, and we'll start with the undercard, and that would be
All right.
Beastly. Beastly, how you doing?
Red, screw you.
So your match, we had a little bit of trouble, honestly, against the Knight deck, which
We didn't have trouble against it. Let's be clear here, okay? We had 2 Perseverances and 2 Mystic Journeys. I drew all 3 Mystic Journeys, and I didn't draw a single Rat King.
And I mean those Frog Princes, bro. They hit you hard. They hit you
They
absolutely
did,
hard.
and I had 2 Craxuses in hand, and I couldn't unload anything but Craxuses. And then guess what? The Knights had resolve.
So obviously not really a good sign for you. So I mean, what were you trying to accomplish though with your deck? I mean, you said you had 2 Perseverance, 2 Mystic Journey. Obviously, you were hoping for some kind of maybe some damage.
I was hoping, yeah, I wasn't hoping for Perseverance at all. I was hoping for maybe, like, I don't know, there's a card called Temple of 5 Gods that's kind of good against, Resolve, that I run in the deck, but I didn't see that either. I didn't see Lightning Blade as well. Would have liked to see one of those. Maybe just a Rat King to close out the game. Could have won it off of that. But, yeah, didn't see any of that stuff, so...
It happens. It happens. But hey, I'd say you still put up a good opener. You still opened it up pretty well.
Oh yeah, I top decked the second lumber, and I was like, okay, well, actually, I might have a hope, because at the start, I was so scared. Because I'd reanimate, I had, like, a Craxus. I had just a very, very tough starting hand with the Perseverance as well. And then I got the second lumber, and I had the coin and the lumber already there, so I was like, okay, we can get the double reanimate, and then we got the double rates.
Yeah, that was big too. We were expecting you to kind of push in with those and do some big damage.
That was big, and I did push with them, but then, it just the Frog Princes really just turned it around for him.
Right. I'm not sure. Astra, are you good over there?
I'm good.
Okay, your mic yelled at me for a quick second, so I wasn't sure. But do you have anything for BC before I move on to Vesa?
No, I don't think so. That was really everything.
Right. And you just got killed by frogs.
Yeah, that's about the game. All right. Well, I'm sorry for being bad, Red. I'm just.
Do frogs have toes?
Please don't go into. No, stop. Please.
Anyway, Vesa, following up with you, you were, I believe, well, you were the third, but obviously a bit of a different story for you. You seemed to do a little bit better than Beastly, but still ultimately had a little bit of trouble there. Talk to me about the matchup. How did you feel? Any thoughts on what you could do to possibly bounce back? Just go ahead and share with us if you can.
Right. Well, my opening hand wasn't ideal, and let me just get this out. Before I go any further, my opponent was Jump, right? Because I don't want to call anybody else Jump that isn't Jump. My opponent was Jump, right?
Yes, it was.
It was Jump?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Well, I don't think Jump necessarily started out with a very strong hand either, but my first play was like Fat Bar Drain Life, and I kind of built like a ramp deck with Southport Captains and Con Artists and some lower cost units, and I just didn't hit those lower cost units. And I thought that there was a kind of a chance for me to get into it because Jump started out kind of slow also. But I think kind of as soon as he hit that call to aid, that kind of like put me way behind, and I wasn't really able to recover from that.
Yeah, we kind of noticed from there. It was you took a very defensive stand, which isn't really, again, something that we don't necessarily know you for. We know that you're usually one to be on the aggressive end. So seeing you on the defensive end, we kind of knew something was probably troubling you at that point. You weren't super confident at that point.
No, yeah, I was never really confident going, as soon as I got my hand in that match, and I had to play on the defensive because I just didn't have those aggressive cards. And Jump, I was trying to save my Dragon's Fire because I knew that Eternal Darkness was coming, but Jump played too many ranged units, and I had to like burn like drain lives to set up a Dragon's Fire to clear those ranged units, and I had to use the Dragon's Fire before the Eternal Darkness came down.
Right.
So the first thing that really set me back was the call to aid.
Hmm.
But then when I didn't have the Dragon's Fire ready for the Eternal Darkness, which I knew was coming, like that's what really put me away.
Yeah.
So Jump played really well, but I would just like to point my finger towards our boy Tweakin, who is
Jeez.
our hero of the
Yeah, you are my hero,
of the whole King of the Hill thing going on here. So I think you might probably want to talk to Jump, but I just want to say props to Tweakin.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Well, before we get into the tweak and Astra, anything for Vesa before I move to boost this man's ego?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I was wondering, other than Grendel and Minotaur, did you have any other large units you were looking to ramp into? And Mordok?
Vesa?
Yeah, I think the Murdoch, was a play that possibly could have put me back in the game, but just having those two Northland Rangers, and I think you realize you maybe misplayed a little bit on the Fat Bard, putting it behind your castle into the Murdoch kill range, but you just had too much, and I couldn't overcome it.
Right. But with that being said, I guess we should get into the main event, which is, of course, Tweakin sweeping the entirety of the other team to bring victory for his own. Tweakin, I mean, you were in 3 matches here, so obviously a lot to keep track of between the games.
Mhm.
But geez, I mean, how are you feeling? Let's start off with that, because obviously I'm gonna, as much as I don't like to do it, I'm gonna help you boost your ego, and so go for that.
Yeah, no, I was pretty confident going into the event. Even though I was a late addition, I didn't even know I was playing. I saw the deck and I saw my teammates, and I felt pretty confident going in. I mean, even in the first game, I was feeling confident. And after winning against Tab, I was just on top of the world. I felt like nothing Jump could throw at me, could take me off it. So, I mean, you even saw in the Discord the type of messages I was sending. I mean, I was just full of confidence, just oozing,
Yep.
just oozing out.
Yep.
MV Tweak.
The deck, it's a good deck. It's a good balanced deck. Nothing too special, nothing too, crazy. Not a traditional Tweakin's deck. Tweakin's deck, we have some randomness to it. This deck is more cut dry.
Yep.
I knew that my main attacks were going to come from just bouncing Beastmaster and bouncing Centaurs.
Which we really saw, I think, amplified in the second game.
Oh my god, yeah.
When you kept bouncing, at one point you had the potential, I think you played maybe a total of 5, potentially 6 Beastmasters throughout the entirety of the game.
Yeah.
That really just sealed away the opponent.
Yeah, so I knew that I was going to live and die off Beastmaster, so I needed to do everything that I possibly could to make sure that he didn't die, whether it's from, mercenary execution, a murder, a blue firebolt, drain, dagger storm. So I made sure that that if I was going to play the Beastmaster, that I also had Shadow Dance that I could play immediately following it, just to make sure that, all my beasts don't just get wiped in one turn. And if I did come up against a faction like Tab, where he ran yellow, blue, it wasn't really that much. I wasn't really worried too much. I just made sure to just try to avoid freeze and lightning and knockback as much as I could.
Right. Well, I mean, sounds all well and good. Sounds like you're feeling very confident. Asher, anything for Tweakin before we jump over to the other side?
Yeah, I don't know if you heard Tweakin, but Jump was talking a little bit of trash before the game.
Oh,
So,
just me
Just thought I'd let you
about me
know.
in general, or my team?
just about you and how he was going to do.
Guys,
So-
I've got one more thing. Is let's throw out some love to Beastly and Alensis, Alensis couldn't make the event, but they're the guys that designed the deck that Tweakin
Yep.
swept with. So let's throw out some love to those guys.
I don't really
Oh,
want to do
absolutely.
that personally,
Let's
but
also let's also hold on. Let's also throw out some love to Tweakin for just masterfully playing the
okay.
deck.
You know what? No,
That's where
we're
it's
good.
really at.
Yeah,
Red,
like-
I haven't heard you yet, but what's my record
Red.
in King of the Hill?
All right. So with
I'm
that
pretty
being
sure you're
said,
undefeated
guys,
in King of the Hill.
For the fans at home, since Red doesn't want to say it.
Oh, for fuck's
Can I
sake.
hear an
Tweakin
undefeated?
is undefeated right now.
I'm
so
gonna go
all
with
the
undefeated.
Tweakin fans at home,
Undefeated, yeah. Uh-huh.
we're doing this for you. It's only going to get better. It's only going to get larger.
Astroy, I'm gonna just skip right over and go ahead to the next group. I'm sorry, buddy, but they're
Sounds
gonna
good.
give me a headache. All
Good
right.
job, Tweakin.
Good job for the win, guys, and let's see how the other side is doing. Alright, and here we are, of course, opposite side of things. Jump, Tab, and Banana, who couldn't make it to the post-game stuff. Honestly, I mean, not a bad showing from you guys. You did fairly well, but ultimately, Tweak's deck seemingly got the better of you. And I know, Jump, you probably have a lot of things to say about that third match, so we're going to start with you. I mean, tell me how you're feeling, not only about that Tweaking game, but of course the other one in general. I believe the one against Vasevent. Just let loose your thoughts, man.
Yeah, first game went well. I don't know. There's not nearly that much to say about it. Like I just kind of. Actually, it was a more interesting game probably to watch and to play because there was a lot more back and forth and I had to kind of play around the whole drafting side of things was interesting.
Right.
So knowing that he's got Dragon's Fire, knowing that he's got Mercenary's Execution, it's a lot of removal.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to play around. Okay, so can I afford to play a big card if I know it could be countered? For example, at one point I had Eternal Darkness in hand, and I decided not to play it, predicting that, oh, he's probably got a Dragon's Fire since he hasn't played one this game. And if I commit 10 mana to Eternal Darkness, and he gets to completely board wipe me for 6 and still counterattack, it'll ruin my chances of winning. So it's just playing around stuff like that made the game more interesting. For the last game...
Actually, before we jump into the last game, I
okay.
just want to kind of quickly ask a question. Because in that first game, there was actually a chance for you to make what we thought at the time was maybe more impactful play. You had the option, I believe Mordok was weakened on the field. You had an opportunity to go into a Headwood to clear out the Horseman and Arc Fire to take out the Mordok, doing the 4 damage. And I think you went with a Ranger and a Bard instead. I don't know if that was just something that you missed over,
yeah.
but I mean, just we wanted to know your thoughts on just taking that opposite direction instead.
I don't exactly remember that moment, but that could have been an oversight, and I always forget that Headwood is a mage.
We might have figured. You also threw
Just
out
don't play him enough
right.
to really go with that, but that's why I went for Arcfire in the deck, is because I had Darkbender, I had Wizard, and Headwood counts as a mage.
Right, so a lot of opportunity to get that 4 damage instead of 2.
A lot of opportunity, but sometimes you don't always see the plays when you're in game and the pressure's on.
Exactly. That's
So yeah, that could have been an oversight.
But anyway,
sure.
take us in that last game then.
Well, last game, I mean, I just bricked really hard. So I wish I had kept my Headwood from the mulligan, but you never think of Headwood as a good early game card.
Right.
I knew he was going to run Were-Rat because it was drafted. So I figured, okay, he could build a first strike deck out of that. He could go like Were-Rat into
Demon Hunter, Ronin.
Play some Demon Hunters, lots of movement, and maybe a Shadow Katana, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking, okay, I'll keep I'll keep a burn card. Even if I don't have a mage on the board, 2 burn can burn off a were-rat. And I need to make sure that I don't use it before he commits something like a Shadow Katana on the were-rat.
Right.
And then ultimately 3 what do they call it? 3 10-drops later, Eternal Darkness, and then a few other wasted cards I just didn't have enough to play on. And
That definitely just bit you in the ass
yeah,
in the end.
I feel like I feel like I've said this enough times in the interview. Like, if you brick, it's okay. The deck can still be good. It just happens sometimes. It's gonna
It always seems
happen to every
you,
deck.
too, of all people. Like, that's
Yeah.
just something that, like, you preach it and it just comes right back at you.
I know. It's the curse of playing while there's an audience. It's the
I know that too well.
oh, look, Mom, look what I can do, and then you can never do it again.
But Astro, anything for before we jump into Tab?
No, I was just curious about that Headwood play that could have happened. I guess I'm curious about the deck overall. It looked like a really fun and interesting deck.
Yeah, so it's the way I went about building the deck is we took the idea that you shouldn't necessarily use all the drafted cards to their best ability, I'll say. So the best example we have of that is Banana's deck, where he had drafted replacement tech.
Yeah, too bad
And so
he saw all 3 of those in the game.
yeah, exactly, same as me.
Yeah.
And so replacement tech, we figured, you know what, you can do a replacement tech with suit of armor thing, but in the situations where you don't draw both of them, you don't draw the combo, both of them are just dead cards.
Right.
So we decided, you know what, 3 cards out of 50 are going to be dead cards. They're just hardly ever going to be useful. But maybe you'll draw 1, maybe 2, and that'll be the end of it. And just build decks that were primarily good stuff and didn't worry too much about building around the cards we had drafted. So for my deck, I went for like I don't know, kind of a cheesy strat with Bestial Rage and lots of mages, and then a Slate Awaken package too, because we had drafted Headwood and Sentry Golem. So I threw in 2 Rite of Awakenings as well. And then the rest of it was just good stuff.
Right.
Yeah, it works all right, but I would certainly make some changes if I were going to play it in a real ladder match.
Right, certainly. And, I mean, with that being said, I think we jump over to the other side of things. I don't know if Tab disappeared on me real quick. Let me just make sure he didn't say
Leave
anything.
Tab.
Yeah, I'm good.
Oh, alright, perfect. He's good. So, Tab, jumping into your games, I mean, just, you had a strong showing game 1 against Beastly. I mean, Frog Prince is doing a lot of work. And then game 2 just seemed like a very different situation. So, do you want to go ahead and walk us through those matches?
I mean, yeah, I guess the main problem with my deck is that I didn't put in a lot of draw. There's only 2 Craxes in there.
Really, no
Like if you
Buckers or
see
anything?
my games, I didn't play books for some reason. I needed more. I was thinking that want to play some kind of aggro deck.
Right.
My 3 drops is Cleric and Knight of Flowers. And I
mean,
guess Fat Bird.
you had some good ideas though. I mean, we saw potentially like Might of Minotaur Shield Runner as a potential like
Yeah.
big threat that could have done some things, and you know that kind of proves your point in aggro. But yeah, it didn't really seem like it went that direction throughout both games, just based on the circumstances. I mean, a lot of Frog Prince work game 1, and then game 2 getting a little choppy with the Luminaris and the Rat Kings from the other side of the board, and the Beastmaster that kept bouncing. I think too was a big problem.
Yeah, that was fucking idle.
Man, you have no no sensor, huh? You're not gonna give me the friendly monetization.
Wait,
I'm
I
kidding.
mean,
I'm kidding. It's fine. Yeah,
you should
it's
know
too late in the
that.
video anyway for them to be looking for it anyway. So, but yeah, it just seems like overall you just got flooded by Beastmaster game 2, and your deck really had no clear out to it,
Yeah.
and it just happens. It does. Astray, anything for a tab here before I move out to close this event?
I don't think so. Tab just played well, and the second game got hit by the beast spam, so
Right.
was what it was.
Right, but with that being said, guys, King of the Hill 3 has now concluded. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and move to close this video. Alright, guys, and with that being said, King of the Hill 3 has concluded. Very wild event indeed, very long one, as you could probably tell by the video length here. And hey, I'm recording this outro at nearly 2 in the morning, so I am personally a bit exhausted there. But with that being said, I hope you guys did enjoy the video. Be sure to let us know if you did enjoy it by leaving your thoughts down in the comment section below, leaving a like on the video if you did enjoy it, and sharing with your friends, and subscribing as well if you're new or haven't done so already. It is the best way that you can show us some support here on the channel by giving us that subscription and keeping up to date with the content we are putting out here. So, yeah, with that being said, guys, that's going to do it for me for now. So, until next time, stay gaming.